What's up, my nuggets? No, I'm just kidding. I actually stole that from Mr. Phantasmo. But anyways, today I got another battle for you guys. This is against my buddy James. I rode back to his place to have a battle. He really wanted me to put one up on YouTube with him. And we had a couple battles before the one that I'm going to put up. The first one we figured wasn't really good enough to put up because I basically sweeped him. And, I didn't even use my Registeel on that one. And the second battle, I believe, is way more epic than the one I'm going to post. He took that battle in the end, and it's pretty hilarious how he took it. I mean, I was way up on him in the beginning, and I don't know. I started to get cocky. I mean, he had like a Regigigas out, and I had my Specs Latias, and I thought about like Draco Meteoring it to death, and I used Trick instead, and then I don't know, everything started to go downhill, and then next thing you knew, he had a Gengar, and all I had left was my Glysaur and my Registeel, and man, this was so hilarious. I mean, I've got my Glysaur out, and I'm like, all right, let's use U-turn because that's all I can do. I mean, I can't really taunt it because he's faster, and I know he wants to sub up, but he didn't have a whole bunch of health. But he looks over me and he goes, what's 258 divided by 4? And I was like, I don't know, 60, 67, 68 or something like that or whatever. And or no, never mind. That's what 68 times 4 is or whatever. I was doing some other math or whatever. And he looks at his health. He's like, well, I got 66. I think I can sub up. And I'm like, all right. So he subs up, and I U-turn, and all I've got left is my Registeel, who can't do anything. He's got T-Wave and Seismic Toss, and that's it. So I can't do anything to him. So his Gengar basically walled my Glysaur and my Registeel. I mean, I used 2 U-turns on his substitute, and it still didn't take him down, so it was pretty hilarious. So I quit that match, and even after his Gengar, he had a Zapdos waiting, which my Latias was dead, so, I mean, he would have just swept me anyway. But we decided that since the first battle wasn't worth it, and the second battle he took it, we decided to go for kind of a tiebreaker. And this one, I use a completely different set of people for the most part. So these are just old people that I used to use, and I thought I should use them to make the battle more interesting for you guys. So here's my fourth battle for you guys, and here you go. Enjoy. Alright, well, here's the battle, you guys. This is me versus James, and he's going to lead off with his Regigigas, and I'm going to start out with my Jirachi. And I'm just going to go for the Iron Head over anything, maybe flinch it down to nothing, And he goes for an EQ, and I'm not too worried because, his stuff's cut in half right now. So I stick in for another Iron Head hoping for a flinch, and I get it. I go for the third one because I'm scarfed and I'm stuck on it anyway. I get another flinch, and it looks like it'll take him, and it does. So James just left him in there, kind of his death fodder in the end because he just kind of figured better. He switches this thing in, and I know it's scarfed because I've battled it in the past, so he predicts the switch, goes for a Sludge Bomb, gets a lucky poison on me, and my Lumberry cures it, but, well, there goes the Lumberry. I know he's going to switch, so I Calm Mind up, sends out a Zapdos, and I absolutely despise Zapdoses. I hate facing them, and every time he sends it out, it sweeps on me. He goes for a T-Bolt, and it does, well, most of my damage right there. And I go for a Surf, hoping maybe, the Calm Mind Stab or whatever, but I know those things are fairly bulky, so I know I didn't get him down there all the way, but I figured I'd leave Sukun in as fodder. So, and I know I could see that it's Orb, so I know that it's just going to keep going down, but I send him my Jolteon, and I know I'm faster, so I go for Hidden Power, Ice, I believe it is, takes him down, sends out his, back in his Houndoom, and I know he's going to be faster, so he uses Overheat, and I think maybe I can live, and I do, with 20 points, and I'm a Sub-Patea Berry, and the berry activates on its own. I go for a Thunderbolt, and I know in the past that this will not kill it, and sure enough, it fails to take him out again, so I switch out to take the Overheat. I don't know why I switched out to Gyarados. I do have a Latias with me, but switch out, I predict the switch, I go for a T-Wave, which I just threw on this thing. Then I taunt it to make it pretty useless here. Then I start to Dragon Dance up, hoping maybe after a couple I can hopefully take this thing out, you know, see if I can do half damage or whatever with Waterfall. 'Cause that's the only offensive move I got on this thing. So I taunt him up again, and then I use Waterfall, and it doesn't hardly even do a quarter, so I'm disappointed with that. I switch out to my Latias, which basically walls this because I know that it's got Surf and Psychic as its offensive moves. And the taunt wears off, so I go for a trick, predicting he's going to try and paralyze me or something. Put the specs on him, I get his leftovers, and he gets parahaxed, so, you know, that's okay. And then I go for a Thunderbolt, and it does just about all of it, which I should have just used Thunderbolt before with the specs, and it would have taken it. So he's stuck on Surf, so I'm not worried about that. And he leaves him in his death fodder because he knows it's going to die, so I just go for a Thunderbolt. And I've got his leftovers securing me the whole time, so that's pretty nice. In the end, these leftovers right here on this Houndoom actually let me survive this Dark Pulse, I believe. Yep, I survived the Dark Pulse. And for some reason, instead of tricking it, or instead of killing it, I trick it. And I have like little experience with trick, and I didn't know that if you use trick and take their choice item that you are now stuck on trick. So yeah, that was stupid. So I switched Jolteon in his death fodder, and I bring in my Haunch Crow, and I know he's going to attack because he's scarfed. Well, he was scarfed, and I know he's going to attack, so I just use Sucker Punch and take him out. Here's Metagross. This thing kind of annoyed me because I know that he has a couple different Metagrosses, so I wasn't sure if it was an agility or whatever. And so I go for Heat Wave, and he's got an Oka Berry, which is lovely because this would have made life easier. Goes for another Bullet Punch. I predicted. I switch out. I go for the U-turn just to see maybe what he'll do. I switch her in because she's pretty much death fodder right now. He goes for the EQ, which misses, and then he Bullet Punches and kills me. And I switch back in my Haunch Crow. I go for Sucker Punch. He predicts it and uses Stealth Rock. And then I go for Sucker Punch, predicting he's going to use Bullet Punch this turn. Almost kills him and epically fails, so he takes down my Haunch Crow. And so I switch this back in. I'm scarfed. I mean, I know I'm faster, so I figure I'd just stick with Iron Head because I know he's only got one guy left in the end here. And I didn't know what it was, and he sends out that horrible frickin' Gengar evil ghost thing that was owning me in our second battle that I didn't post. Goes for a T-Bolt. I survive, which I think Shadow Ball would have killed me, but he knew he was going to lose. So that's a good game. I know I get 2 Iron Heads on him, take him down, and that's the game. And I hope you enjoyed it. Our second battle was more epic. I'm sorry I couldn't post that, but we'll definitely do another battle again. And yeah, that's my battle. Rate, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good day, you guys. See ya.